The days of being a go-getter are gone. As a matter of fact, we live now in a time where you need to be a go-giver. In other words, he who gives the most gets the most. The principle of the extra mile is still holding firmly in place. The more value that you bring or give, the more you get. Money is attracted to value. Fulfillment, happiness, those are attracted to bringing or giving value. It's time to be a go-giver. The day of the go-getter is gone. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Walk in Transformation Podcast, the People's Podcast. My name is Richard Coles of RHCG Motivation, and I'm so excited to welcome you to this episode, this first episode. Some of the guests that I have on we're going to be discussing insights, principles, and strategies that have been around for a really long time and that will help you along your journey as you transform your life into exactly what you want it to be. Not only will we be talking about these principles, insights, and strategies, we are going to be deep diving into them. There are literally thousands of self-help, personal development, motivational, and life transformation books out there that are full of this information. But you have to be seeking this information in order to get it. That's why my favorite book says, "Seek and you shall find." None of this information is old or outdated. That's not possible because principles do not get old. They only get taken for granted until you have to fall back on simple truths that take you back to the fundamental principles that are the foundation of every success ever encountered by every human being. You don't need to discover or uncover some new principle that works better for you today than it did, say, 50 years ago. You see, the principles for success, a fulfilling life, and great achievements never change to work for you. You have to change for them to work. It's kind of like putting a steak on the grill without a fire and expecting it to cook itself. I know, crazy, isn't it? It just doesn't happen that way. In order for that steak to cook, we all know that you have to have a fire to create the activity required to produce the outcome that you are looking for. Now, we are in a constant state of mental, emotional, physical, and economic, and even spiritual evolution every day. Everyone, we all are aware of how much our world has changed over the last decade and is changing continually, especially over the last couple of months. Now, my sincere prayer is that you and your family are doing fine, that no one has taken ill, and that you are all enjoying each other's company and loving on each other as we move into this period of, well, we'll call it a period of adaptation in our lives that we did not see coming. Please, don't forget these simple fundamentals that we have to do now, that we have to get back to now. Isn't that something? We have to return to the simple foundation principles. Don't forget to wash your hands several times throughout the day. Now, it's not going to be easy to do this next one, but you're going to have to focus on not touching your face with your hands. Make sure you're keeping a safe enough distance between you and the next person. You see, that's for the safety of both of you. That's for the safety of you and the other person. And for heaven's sakes, just practice being a little kinder to one another. We need more of that. We really, really do. We've gotten just so heartless sometimes in our interactions with each other, be it on the highway, be it on a sidewalk, be it on a subway car, be it in a store trying to get something that we want to get. Just practice a little bit more love and kindness, because you never know. Something kind that you're doing for someone may make their day, or it may even save their life. And that's what we're all really about right now. There was a man, he was walking down a bridge, a pier actually, and he had a note in his hand. It was a suicide note. And he said, if someone just looks up at me and smiles at me one time, I will not jump off this bridge. And as he walked from his home, he continued to walk down the street. Nobody looked up at him. Nobody acknowledged him. He continued to walk till he reached the pier, and people were out everywhere. No one looked in his face, and he was hoping, he was praying, please, somebody just look in my eyes. I will not do this. The very next day, someone found that note on the pier, and they just said to themselves, my God, what have we come to? Because I'm sure I walked past this person yesterday. So we have to connect with each other. We have to connect with each other. Just be a little kind. Now, one thing about this woman, let me tell you about this woman I know. One thing I know about this woman named America and the people of America is that we are always going to bounce back. We always overcome whatever challenges before us. Now, technology is absolutely astounding today. We can effectively telework and still keep our offices producing and moving forward. Children and college students, for lack of a better way to put it, they are telelearning today for reasons that go unsaid. We have to. That's an adaptation that we had to get to. Now, this is an absolutely great time to be alive in America, alive in the world, period. The future holds so much promise for each and every one of us. Social media has literally shrunk the world. Everybody is so attainable. Everybody is so reachable. The downside to that is, social media has made it possible for us to have a huge disconnect amongst ourselves. Like the man walking down the pier, just hoping someone would look up in his face and see him. Why don't we engage with each other anymore? Tell me something. How did we get to a place where people are killing themselves over what someone has said about them in their circle online? How does someone feel worse about themselves after reading a simple remark or criticism somebody posted about them on social media? How? How does this happen? The answer is simple. The answer is that it is now even more important what people say, what people think, or their opinions of you than your opinion of yourself. Listen, what people think about you is none of your business. That's their business. Leave that to them. Somebody's opinion of you does not have to be your reality. That's something that Les Brown used to say all the time, and he should know a little something about that. As a matter of fact, man, I tell you, I'm going to be trying to get him on this show, on this podcast, because he's one of my mentors and somebody whose opinion has really been instrumental in shaping the life that I'm living. Now, switching gears just a little bit, I have chosen to drive for Uber because it gives me the opportunity to keep my finger on the pulse of the city. So when you call for your next ride to wherever you're going, it's very possible that you could be getting a lift from RHCG Motivation. Now, if you do, I can promise you that this will be one of the most life-changing experiences that you will have. If you're dealing with an issue or if you're trying to find a solution for something, let's talk about it. Again, I promise you that you will leave with more clarity and a greater feeling of confidence that you can solve, meet, or answer anything that has come or will come your way for that day. That is what RHCG Motivation is all about. That is what Walk in Transformation is all about. You see, I get the chance to see people right where they are as who they are, not who they want me to see, not who they have been told that they are, and not who they wish they were, but just as they are. And I tell you this, it's an amazing thing to see people right where they are. I can tell you also that I hear firsthand, that's my alarm clock, but I can tell you that I hear firsthand every day, all the pain, sadness, stress, struggles, and discontent people are feeling as they go through their lives. I also hear the joy, contentment, happiness, feelings of accomplishment, and all of the other outcomes that these principles, insights, and strategies are producing in the lives of the people who are following them. I'm talking about young people, old people, middle-aged people, baby boomers, millennials, generations X, Y, and Z. Now, the one thing that everyone has in common is image. Everyone wants to present a certain image that is either accepted, liked, or even imitated. The only problem with that is, can you guess what the problem is? Well, I'll tell you. The only problem with that is if you project an image, you have to protect an image. It's gotten so hard for people today to basically be real, be their authentic selves. What we call being real today, it's not being real, it's being what I think I need to be. Being your authentic self is being who you are, regardless of what people think. So, as I said, there's one thing that really thrills me. It's seeing people be themselves. When they get into this car, all images are down. Everything is done, and they're either tired or they're just excited to go out with their friends. But I can tell you this, there's one simple motivating force behind most of the images that we come face to face with today, and that is fear. Believe it or not, fear can keep a man or a woman trapped in an endless cycle of poverty their entire life, and it can continue down through the generations. Now, it can keep a person trapped or imprisoned by sadness, depression, or self-doubt until ultimately the only foreseeable way out is addiction, a reckless lifestyle, or the acceptance of living a meaningless life that's going nowhere. You see, I can say this with confidence because that's exactly where I ended up. No longer feeling like I mattered. No longer feeling like I was good enough to be around anyone. I mean, my life had reached a point where my day-to-day struggle was just to survive. It had gotten very dark for me, and I had even considered several times just checking out of here, ending my life, because the pain had gotten to be so overwhelming. I'm so grateful, though, that God had another plan for my life, and that I had one brief moment, just one moment, of lucidity where I heard a voice say, "You are more than this, and you have always mattered. You are more than this, and you have always been more than good enough." I leaned heavily on this voice, and I tell you, I'm so grateful that I did, because without that voice saying what it said, without me being able to listen to that voice, and take it seriously, I don't know where I would be right now. I don't know where I would be right now. On that note, I want to just let you know that you can find this podcast on any platform that hosts podcasts: Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, and RSS feeds, any platform that carries podcasts. Also, please stay tuned and keep your eyes open for my very first book, which will be out at the end of this summer. And it's called Can I Walk With Me? It will help you to come face to face with yourself so that you can meet yourself where you are and start getting to exactly where you want to be. Now, as I said, I leaned very heavily on these insights, principles, and strategies that we're going to be talking about, and they lifted me up out of a living hell into a life that is almost unrecognizable from the way it used to be. Now, you'll get to hear more of my personal story later, but it doesn't matter where in life you are. It doesn't matter if you've parked on Skid Row or if you're at a place where you feel you've achieved everything that you've ever wanted. There is always a better version of yourself on the other side of who you are right now. Now, on the other side of the coin, fear can propel a man or a woman to heights of success unimaginable if it is used in the correct way. You see, most of the time in our relationships, if it is a marriage, friends, or family, the conversation that we have with each other is not the most important conversation we can have that can turn the tide for us. It's the conversation that we have with ourselves that is the most vital conversation. It's our inner dialogue. We can continue to frame unpleasant situations through glasses of victimhood, unfair treatment, and abandonment as long as we want to. But if we're going to move past that and get back to a place where we're thinking accurately and moving confidently, our self-talk has to change, or it's hopeless and all is lost. Let me tell you, I had the honor of helping a wonderful woman without a vision for her life to develop her vision. It's totally her vision, and all I did was help her get clear about it. She did not have one. She was just going through her life from day to day, doing the very best that she could, but she didn't have a clear vision of the life that she wanted to live. So she was just living. Really, she wasn't living. She was just surviving. But she knew she wanted to be happy, and unfortunately, that's not enough. What is happy to you? What is success to you? What does it mean for you to live a life that's fulfilling? You see, these are very important questions that you need to be asking yourself. The only way to get to where you are going is to know where you are going. And the only way to get to where you are going is to know where you are at, your starting point, your real starting point, not where you think you're starting from, not again where people say that you are starting from, but right where you are. So let's jump on in and get right to it. The first step, or the first thing that you need to know, is that you must have a vision for your life. That's what this episode is all about, identifying and developing the vision for your life. Now, there are people that have a vision for their life. They notice, they see, they realize the vision for their lives at a very early age and start moving toward that vision at an early age. But on the other side, there are people that start developing their vision for their lives later on in life. It doesn't matter where you are in life, as long as you identify your vision. Now, when you identify it, you've got to define it and write it down. You see, a vision that is not written down is just a wish. It's just hoping for an outcome that will happen by osmosis or luck or whatever you will call it. It's kind of hard to live your life by default because, you have to deal with whatever comes up. But people are doing it every day. Most of the unhappiness that we experience in our lives is because we're living our lives by default. But when you have a vision for your life, a clear vision, you begin to start operating with clarity, with purpose. You start beginning to operate with the end in mind. You know where you're going. You know that you're going somewhere, and you know where you are going. Your clearly defined vision will prevent you from making decisions that will hurt you or put you in uncompromising or compromising positions. Your vision will also move you in a focused direction according to the things that you will be doing to meet other people that can help you move forward in your vision. It's your vision that will give you the drive, determination, and resolve to continue moving in the direction of realizing the manifestation of that vision when you just don't feel like it. Believe it or not, your vision will also help you identify the people that you should allow into or evict from your lives. You get to decide exactly what vision you're going to be working toward. It's not about anybody else, no one telling you what they think your vision should be for your life. It doesn't matter if you just want to be the best housewife that you could possibly be, raising kids that are responsible, compassionate, kids that will grow to be productive members of society and bring joy to you for many years to come. And it doesn't matter if you want to be the owner of a corner store in your neighborhood, providing the essentials that your neighborhood needs. It doesn't even matter if you want to start your own company and grow it into a Fortune 100 company. Maybe, just maybe, you want to be a musician that creates music that speaks to the hearts of millions of people. What your vision will be depends on what you want. And I want to stress the importance of what you want being your vision. There are so many people right now who do not have a vision for their lives. You see, they aren't living. They are not living, but they are being lived by their parents, their friends, their boss, or other people that have imposed their opinion of what this person's vision should be on them. Create your own vision. Live your own vision. Live your own life. I want you to take some time and start writing out, really writing out exactly what you want your life to be like. Again, it doesn't matter. It just really doesn't matter what your vision for your life is going to come to. So, that's your vision. If you want to be a powerful lawyer, write it out. What kind of law do you want to practice? Where do you want to live? How does your office look? How many clients do you have? Do you practice locally or do you travel? Please don't worry about how outlandish or even how over the top your vision may look or even sound. You're supposed to have a vision that's just right for you. And just because it's a huge, magnificent, monumental vision does not mean that it's not the vision that's right for you. Whatever your vision is, whether it's huge or small, it's your vision. My favorite book also says, write the vision and make it plain so that he who sees it can run towards it. That verse is talking about you. That principle has been around forever and ever, has not failed one single person who has followed it. So get to writing, and we'll get back together in the next segment of this episode on vision. Now, you can find this podcast, like I said, on any platform that makes podcasts available, everywhere, from Spotify to Apple Music to everyone in between. I encourage you to subscribe to this podcast because you will be receiving very valuable content every week that you can use in your life. You will get the results that you are working toward as long as you work consistently and you practice these principles consistently, these insights consistently, and these strategies consistently. You can also find me on YouTube if you just type in RHCG Motivation, and I'm sure that you will get a lot out of the videos that you will find there. I'm updating the content because I've been kind of absent for a while working on my first book, Can I Walk With Me? And as I said before, it's going to be out at the end of the summer, and it will be a life-changing read for all who choose to read it. And if that's not enough, I am also arranging speaking events where I will be moving around the country doing live speaking events starting this fall. I will keep you posted. Again, I'm so thrilled to have been able to share a little bit of time with you, and I'm looking forward to us spending much more time together. As for now, just know that you have always mattered and that you have always been more than good enough. And as usual, I speak health, wealth, prosperity, and purpose into your lives right here, right now.